This Memphis Bleek, man. Memphis Bleek comes out of nowhere sometimes and just talks, and I love it. Memphis Bleek, if we remember, he was supposed to be the next Jay-Z, but that ultimately never ended up happening. They overhyped Memphis Bleek, and then he never lived up to the hype, which happens. It's like 50 saying Tony Ayo was the next 50 Cent. It would have put too much pressure. Puts too much pressure on the artist, man. So he said Eminem, Jay-Z's verse on Renegade has aged better than Eminem's. So let's hear what he's got to say.
Your opinion on who had a better verse on Renegade. This is more barbershop talk. Who had a better verse on Renegade?
You really trying to spark some drama. Everybody, of course, I feel like certain songs Jay record be over people's head. It's not at that time.
I think even getting on
to me, track. The streets and everybody, the public opinion, of course, says Eminem, right? At that time. Go back and listen to that record today. I bet you all gonna agree it's Jay. Because, Jay was talking something that was so far of what you even understood or could comprehend that you didn't know what he was talking about. So, of course, when somebody laying the groundwork and is, hey, the wall is red, it's black trim on it, he's like, oh, yeah, he talking about that. This guy talking about something out the room I can't see. You know what I'm saying? So,
verse aged better.
That's right.
I don't understand this.
What?
I don't understand this.
What didn't you understand?
I don't understand nothing. What are these guys? What do you mean?
Memphis Bleek is Jay-Z's artist. He was signed to Jay-Z.
Right. No, I don't.
roc-a-fella.
I don't get how is he saying that Jay-Z's verses has aged more than Eminem's verse? Is that what?
On Renegade. Has aged better.
Aged better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as time went on, it got better. The verse to people's eyes and the understanding of it matches this time better than Eminem's does. When things age better, like wine age better, it just aged better. As time went on, people realized Jay-Z's verse is better. That's what he's saying instead of Eminem's.
Gotcha.
He's saying when the song first came out, Eminem's verse was way better, and everybody said, oh, Eminem.
Right, because everybody was like, oh, Eminem.
But as time went on, he's saying people prefer Jay-Z's verse. It's been better. It grew better. People enjoyed it a lot better.
I have to listen to that record again, then.
I mean, I'm going over the verses right now.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z starts out, motherfuckers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels. Do you fools listen to music or you just skim through it? I know a lot of people use that line. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? That's a line that people, to this day, even on Twitter, when new albums come out, people tweet, oh, this is trash. And then people say, do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? Yeah. See, I'm influenced by the ghetto you ruined. The same dude you gave nothing. I made something, what I do through and through. And I gave you the news with the twist. It's just his ghetto point of view. The renegade. You've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture. Bring them a lot close to the block where they pop toasters. Jeez, man, these bars are crazy. Yeah. When you actually break down these bars, it's insane. Yeah.
Insane.
And they live with their moms. Got drop roasters from botched robberies. People crouched over. Miami's knocked up because she wasn't watched over. Knocked down by some clown with child support. Knocked over. No, he's not around. So yeah, there's. And then you got some in the position to talk to these kids and to listen. I ain't no politician, but I kick them with a minute because they see the menace. And if the shoe fits, I wear it. But if I don't, then y'all swallow the truth, grin, and bear it. Now, who's these king of these rules, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics who are in the terror of the title, put the youth to their stereo, using the music to stare at sharing this? Yeah, there's a lot of shit with Eminem. As a motherfucking drag addict, you didn't I mean, I don't know, man. I think Eminem at the time was talking about what he was going through,
Right.
I mean, since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and listen, I ain't no politician, but I'll kick him with him in a minute. He says, because they call me a menace, and if it shoots, I'll wear it, but if it don't, then y'all will swallow the truth, grin, and bear it. Now, who's the king of these rude, ludicrous lyrics? Who's their hair to tie up with the using his music to stare, staring at the views and merits?
I think Eminem's verse just stays more in that time frame when he writes his, verse, because he's talking about it mostly about himself, like how he would,
yeah.
But Jay-Z's verse is more like you can still how do I say, relate to this time more.
Let me see. I'm gonna go over Jay-Z's. I gave you the news with a twist. It's just his get up point of view. The renegade, you've been afraid of pop culture, but I bring them a lot toasters to the block where they pop toasters. And they live with their moms, got drop roasters from botched robberies. Now how that sound to you, jot it down. I bring you through the ghetto without riding around, hiding down, ducking strays from frustrated youth stuck in their ways. Just read a magazine that fucked up my day. How you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it. I help them see the way through it, not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes. Bet everything you worth, you'll lose your tie and your shirt. They're both talking to how like the world sees them. Eminem's like this drug addict, crazy person.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not really that. He's just through his, you know, same thing with JayZ. He's not this drug dealer or crazy person. They're kind of painting their own point of view of how they've dealt with things.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how his age is when it's like both.
I mean, Eminem's kind of, they call me a menace. Eminem's, I don't know, the way more of Eminem's is more about himself than JayZ's.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but
his was just like strictly him, and JayZ's was more like more. I don't know how to say it. Like,
well, then again, let's keep going to the verse.
yeah. Because let me hear them.
Okay, so the next verse, JayZ said, I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles, pockets filled with a lot of lint, not a cent. Got a vent, a lot of innocent lives lost on the Project Bents. What you hollering? Gotta pay rent, bring dollars in by the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling braver. Do-rag wrapping my waves up, pockets full of hope. Do not step in me, I'm awkward, I box lefty. An orphan my pops left me. And often my mom wasn't home, could not stress to me, I wasn't grown. Specifically on nights I brought something home to quiet the stomach rumblings. My demeanor 30 years my senior, my childhood didn't mean much, only raising green up. Raising my fingers to critics, raising my head to the sky. Big, I did it, multi before I died, no lie. Just know I chose my own fate. I drove by the fork in the road and went straight. Yeah, it's a little balance on this, though. He's talking more about himself on this one, though, this verse. And then Eminem's like, see, I'm a poet to some, modern than Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the king of these latter saints here. To shadow the picture in which they paint me as. A monger of hate, Satanist, scatterbrained atheist. But that ain't the case. See, it's a matter of taste. We as the people decide if shit he's bad as they say he is. Or he's the ladder of the gateway to escape. Media scapegoat who they can be mad at today. So yeah, he's dealing with the same. He's just talking about.
Yeah, I think they're doing it's just the way they bring it out to the media. It's way different. Eminem
Man, Memphis
more,
Bleek. Memphis Bleek, you just dick riding because you're JayZ. You're JayZ's homie. And JayZ said, as long as I'm a millionaire, Memphis Bleek will forever be a millionaire. That's why. That's all Memphis Bleek is saying. I get it. You're riding with your team. It makes sense. If you were to say Eminem, it would kind of look bad. Blah, blah, blah. Same shit applies to like if 50's talking about Eminem or something. You know, he's going to ride with Eminem. He says Eminem's the greatest rapper of all time. He's white. He does it the best, blah, blah, blah. So that's all it really is, man. I
agree with you.
I think Eminem's verse better, but of course we're biased a little bit.
No, they both did an excellent job.
They
both killed it. It's just
first off,
just the way Eminem was just more going like he's more like he gives him like a attack, you know, more like an
the reason why
way,
I like
you know,
the Eminem's verse,
energy.
Yeah, the reason why I like Eminem's verse better is because he's actually was dealing with that at the peak of his like. JayZ never got to the level of Eminem, like to that almost 2 million records sold on the first week. That, remember when I ranked the Eminem albums, I talked about how Eminem's show was him at his peak. He was this bird's eye point of view looking down on everything. That's where Eminem was at. So Eminem's verse resonates more on this record because he's actually going through the top. At this point when this record was made, Eminem was number one
going through
with a dominant number one. JayZ was not number one at this point, even though he was writing about the shit that, you know, he was mainly writing about what the streets are going through. Their perspective.
And things that he went back
a little bit, yeah. He's dealing
when he was younger.
Mainly what the streets are going through, you know.
Correct.
You have your mom always working, your father's usually not there. You have a gun to try to provide for yourself. Sometimes you take the gun, go do something to quiet the stomach rumblings, you know, when he raps about this type of stuff. So JayZ's more about the street stuff, which is more relatable when you really look at it. Eminem's is more about him, and at that peak of number one, we can't all relate to that. But he had some bars here and there that was more about like, hey, your kids look up to this because they want to be something like this or they've gone through something like this. So I think just Eminem's is more, because it's harder to relate to it, I think it's doper, but did it age? It might have aged worse because of that. It's harder to relate to it. So I don't know. But yeah, it's a good, interesting conversation.
Yeah. But no, you explained it perfectly. That's it right there.
Yeah, so I think I don't know. You get Memphis Bleek and you get Obi Trice. to go and talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we tried used to be Eminem's artist, Memphis Bleek used to be JayZ's.
There
Let
you
him
go.
talk about it and see who can actually deliver what's the best.
And if
So,
they both say Eminem, then all right.
yeah, Memphis said Jay. So
I mean, Jay.
think, yeah, they both say Jay, and it's a wrap.